ready to go. I'll wait for your signal, though. Just to say, three of you will make a quick speech, and when you do, it'll be there, and you need to speak about that much close to the microphone. When you speak.
1 or 2 minutes. Sure.
But just three of us. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the pavilion of the European Investment Bank and the Benelux. We're really happy to welcome you all here. It's lovely to see a full room. Today, we're celebrating a very special kind of partnership. Here at COP28, there's been a great deal of talk about climate finance, but particularly climate finance for developing countries and emerging economies. And that's what we're here to talk about, to celebrate an initiative which brings together many partners, and especially to celebrate the joining of a new member to the fold, the African Development Bank. We're talking about the Global Green Bond Initiative, spearheaded by the European Commission. We're delighted to see you here, Stefano, and bringing together the partners. So I'm going to invite you to listen to a few words. This is going to be a short and sweet event. But before that, I'd like to actually get right down to business. What we're doing today is signing a declaration of intent, if you like, and an expression of our common aim to mobilize more money around the world, particularly in developing countries, for climate action, be it mitigation, be it adaptation. This is our aim. So I'm really delighted to say that we'll be hearing in a moment from the Vice President for Finance from the African Development Bank, and Hassatou Diop Nsele, thank you very much for joining us today. We're also going to be hearing from the European Commission's Head of Unit for Climate Change and Sustainable Energy, Stefano Signore. You come from the Directorate of International Partnerships, the clue is in the word partnerships, at the European Commission. And we'll also be hearing from Milena Messori, who is from the European Investment Bank, and who heads our section on global corporate finance. So let's get down to business. We're signing a bit of paper. We've got most of the organizations actually who form part of the Global Green Bond Initiative. I'm just going to remind you of who they are, and then I'm going to invite you all to come and sign bit by bit. So we have the European Investment Bank. We have the Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, that's the CDB from Italy. We have the Spanish Agency for International Development Cooperation, that's AICID. We have, but not with us today, unfortunately, KfW, the European Bank for Reconstruction, KfW, the German bank, Promotional National Bank. We have the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, and we don't have, but we may yet get in the next 5 minutes, Proparco, who is represented by the Agence Française de Développement. And last but not least, we have the Green Climate Fund. Henry Gonzalez, thanks very much for making it as well. So I'm going to invite you one by one. This is the little declaration. I would invite you to sign above the abbreviation of your bank. And then we're going to do a photograph and hear from a few words. So maybe I can ask you, Anton Leis Garcia, who is the CEO of AICID, come and do your bit. The first signature, exactly. Thank you, and delighted, great, you all get applause for that effort. So Hassatou, come and sign, because you really are the guest of honor today for the African Development Bank. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can do another one. We definitely are putting your photo up on the top. And then I'm going to ask Paolo Lombardo, who is Director of International Development Cooperation for CDP. Paolo. Thank you. And Dimitri Gunvadzadze, I didn't do too well on the pronunciation. Come on, you pronounce it yourself.
Gvintadze.
Okay, excellent. I'll learn it next time. And Dimitri, you're Director for Climate Strategy and Regional Development at the EBRD. Thank you. And from the EIB, Milena Masuri, come and sign for us, please. Yeah, you get applause before and after. Thank you. And Henry Gonzalez, Deputy Executive Director of the Green Climate Fund. Henry. Great. So Henry, stay up there because I'm going to invite all of you to come and join. Maybe we can take the table out of the way, and maybe if we can ask Hassatu, if you want to hold the, given that you're the guest of honor, why don't you hold the declaration, and if we can give it to Hassatu and Milena, and don't forget to stand for the photo. You go up as well. Commission's got to be there. You're the ones that set this up. Okay. Are the photographers happy? Because that's the most important thing. Okay, thank you very much. So don't go away unless Henry has to run. We will forgive you. But otherwise, if you could all take your seats again, I want to invite Melina to come and maybe stand behind the podium for a minute. And you can pull the microphone to you and maybe to say a few words.
Thank you, Shirin. And it would be absolutely just a couple of words to, first of all, thank you for coming to this event. We are very pleased to welcome African Development Bank to this initiative. Just to mention how important it is to develop international capital markets in order to bring climate finance to scale. The EIB knows that quite well. We were the first one to issue a green bond back in 2007, and now the market has reached almost 3 billion of investments in green bonds. I think what we want to do here is very much to repeat this extraordinary result in countries, emerging markets and developing economies by putting together as a partnership our capital, our public sector capital, and leveraging it by de-risking private sector investors and multiplying the effect that we can bring to the table. It's GGBI, the Global Green Bond Initiative, is not just taking the opportunity of making our money worth in climate finance, is also the opportunity of providing technical assistance to the issuers of green bonds. And this is where African Development Bank is coming in by partnering together with us and making sure that we can also invest in terms of capacity building for issuers. So I will stop here and now let Stefano come to the podium and say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stefano. So as we said, Stefano is from the European Commission, who of course has spearheaded this initiative and convened us all together. Over to you.
Thank you very much and good afternoon, everybody. Really happy to be here and represent the European Commission on this event. The Global Green Bond Initiative has been a very demanding process that we have been undertaking, and we are happy to see here a very important milestone, this COP28. Milena has already mentioned what is the objective of the initiative, which is basically to contribute to the mobilization of green bond in emerging developing economies with the support of our financial toolbox, and in particular through the mobilization from our side of 1 billion guarantees. We aim at mobilizing a total of between 15 and 20 billion euros of green bonds. So first of all, let me stress the importance of these Team Europe efforts, which, as we see, let's say, includes a number of actors. And in particular, in this occasion, we want to stress the fact that for us is important the partnership with continental institutions. We already had, let's say, an agreement with the Inter-American Development Bank in September. So this was an important also milestone from our side. And today we have, let's say, the partnership with the African Development Bank. So this also linked up to the importance of connecting this, let's say, financial mobilization capacity with the technical assistance on the ground. So with the partnership with the African Development Bank, we hope we can contribute to, let's say, the identification of climate and environmentally relevant projects and, let's say, pipeline that can indeed then serve for the mobilization of this Global Green Bond Initiative. So partnership is really key in this initiative. We are happy to see everybody mobilized around this important endeavor, and I thank you all for having assisted here today. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Stefano. And finally, may I invite you, Hassatu, to join us as guest of honor, Chief Finance Officer and Vice President responsible for finance at the African Development Bank.
Thank you very much. Technology. Yes. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. Extremely pleased and honored to be here to further Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, yeah.
In order to really further substantiate our collective goal of unlocking the vast potential of green bonds in Africa. Africa's engagement in the green bond market today represents less than 1% of the more than $2.2 trillion in cumulative green bonds issuance in 2022. And this points both to the untapped potential and significant opportunity for our continent in the sustained finance space. The African Development Bank itself has a long history of mobilizing green bonds, and the EIB has really been a trailblazer. And over the past year, we've issued $10 billion of green and social bonds in capital markets, which has enabled us to support green and social progress across the continent. So we've also supported some African countries in the first steps in the green bond market. And this partnership today will help build dedicated capacity and create an ecosystem that supports and accelerates the adoption of green financing. And this joint declaration amongst ourselves to collaborate on technical assistance on green bonds in Africa, our commitment to work together, and it is significant, and it will be impactful. There cannot be impactful development on the African continent without a vibrant local capital markets. And we welcome one of the stated objectives of our alliance, which is to develop and strengthen local capital market through the GGBI. We also applaud how through the initiative we will be able to mobilize private investors and provide them with the necessary confidence to consider African-issued green bonds. And the dedicated public-private fund, which would act as anchor investors, could be a game changer in Africa. So let's us all seize this opportunity, this unique opportunity, to be a trailblazer as well in Africa. And thank you very much, and we appreciate the next steps with regards to this. So thank you very much, and let's help Africa fully leverage the power of green bonds, and we can contribute together towards a sustainable future for Africans that benefits all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hassatou Diop and Sele from the African Development Bank. And thank you so much as well to our partners from Cassa Depositi di Prestiti, from the Spanish International Development Corporation, AECID, from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, and of course, from the European Commission and the Green Climate Fund as well. So with that, I leave you all on a positive and optimistic note. We look forward to actually seeing the impact on the ground, because that's what it's all about, and wish you well on your way. Thank you very much. Bye.